Well, guess what happened again? Another week, another blackout. JCP&L in Ocean County. Thousands of JCP&L customers without power in Ocean County. This happened yesterday morning. This affected JCP&L customers in Toms River and Berkeley Township. Equipment failure at a substation is the initial explanation for the outage. And most of the Toms River Regional School District was on a 90-minute delayed start. So, again, JCP&L just cannot handle the load on their system. So, it says here, nearly 9,000 JCP&L customers started their day without power Wednesday morning as temperatures hovered around 20 degrees. After the outage was initially reported at around 3:40 a.m., crews made steady progress in the pre-dawn to restore power to with the last customers in Berkeley Township restored by 7 a.m., according to JCP&L, and the final 4,000 Toms River customers were back by 8:30 in the morning. Honig told New Jersey 101.5 there was an equipment failure at a substation in the Whiting section of Manchester. Gee, didn't that same substation have another problem a week ago? This substation feeds a substation in the Manitow Park section of Toms River. Crews are working to further isolate the line. The Toms River School District also is a delayed start as well. And the recent outages in Ocean County. The outage is the latest in a series that have occurred in the Whiting area over the past few weeks. There were also large outages in Island Heights, Lakewood, and Toms River. A trip at a JCP&L substation in Whiting on December 23rd knocked out power for over 5,000 customers in Manchester and Lacey. At Monday's Ocean County Commissioner meeting, Commissioner Frank Sadeghi suggested filing a $1 billion lawsuit against JCP&L to get the utility's attention. Yeah, they do need to be sued. They really do. JCP&L in late 2023 announced a $935 million system-wide project called Energize NJ to upgrade overhead lines and substations that will make them more resilient to high-impact storms. So you can see here, this is the map here, the outage map. You can see this outage looks like it affected most of Toms River, yeah, it looks like it affected the whole central business district and Manitow Park as well. And this is just nuts. So I'll show you where this all happened. Obviously, this is Toms River, and there was a problem at the Whiting substation. Why would a problem at Whiting, which is all the way over here, that substation, I showed you to you before, this substation, why would a problem affect Toms River? Well, I have an idea behind that. You see that we have a power line here, transmission line here, an actual transmission line that goes to the substation, and I'm guessing, see this line on the top here? That's a 34.5 kV line. That line went out of service as a result of this outage. And that blacked out 9,000 customers, which is pretty nuts when you think about it. And it went all the way over to here. Somehow it went all the way into here. And of course, but there's another substation over here. So I don't understand why they couldn't just have the power come from this substation. I don't understand it exactly. This is the substation here. There's another substation right here, as you see here. But somehow it caused this substation to go offline too. At least part of it. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on here. But it's a really bad situation. So let's go to this article. Nearly 5,000 homes. You have another article here. Businesses in Toms River without power overnight and into the morning Monday as temperatures plunged into the 20s. And JCP&L is obviously Ocean County Board of Commissioners is escalating its longstanding grievances. They should be sued. I say that we immediately file a suit against JCP&L in the amount of $1 billion. The Toms River Police Department urges people to drive carefully because of multiple traffic lights on Route 37 without power. Toms River Mayor Dan Roderick echoed the county stance. While serving as a councilman, Roderick had previously suggested finding JCP&L as the township had been plagued with random outages over the years. That request was ignored by Mayor Maurice Hill and his council allies on the council. Hill is no longer mayor, and most of those dissenting council members have been voted out of office. I've been working on an ordinance with the council that would fine power companies for outages above the national average. There are outages in Toms River every month. This is out of control. JCP&L needs to improve their infrastructure, or we will fine them $100,000 per outage above the national average. JCP&L makes a lot of money on the backs of Toms River residents. They have the money to make the investments they need to stop these outages. 1.4 outages per year is the U.S. national average of average outages per year. Roderick said the town uses 2 outages as the baseline for fines. The average household pays $150 per month for the municipal tax. Roderick said many homeowners pay the power company 2 to 3 times that amount each month. This year, JCP&L will be raising rates 2.2% through July. By 2026, electric rates for homeowners in Toms River will increase by 4.2% under a 2023 approved rate hike. This is a matter of life and death for many seniors in our town, Roderick said. People have medical equipment. Most of the senior communities are on electric heat. They are all without power this morning, and it's 20 degrees. This is not how you treat your customers. The power outage, which impacted the Route 37 corridor and surrounding areas, highlighted broader frustrations over what county officials allege are insufficient infrastructure upgrades and delays in service improvements. The commissioners did not formally act on Sadeghi's proposal, but several appeared to support his call to hold the Ohio-based utility accountable. Sadeghi pointed to JCP&L's corporate parent, First Energy, as detached from local customers' needs. The county government will find a way to get the attention of the electric company, he said, emphasizing the board's intention to push for change. JCP&L defended its record, with spokesperson Chris Honig stating JCP&L continues to invest in our infrastructure along the Jersey Shore and throughout our service territory to enhance service reliability and meet the current and anticipated future demand for electricity. We look forward to working with our municipal, county, and state elected officials now and into the future. The outage and commissioner's proposed legal action mark the latest in clashes between the utility provider and local officials who have repeatedly criticized JCP&L. This is continuing to be a big problem with JCP&L. Their infrastructure cannot handle it, and it seems like when it's cold and there's a lot of load and everybody turns on, especially where there's electric heat, the grid can't handle it, and their substations can't handle it. And this is a big problem because this is the Toms River substation. They said the problem was at the Whiting substation. Again, the same substation that had the problem the last time. And this is the Whiting substation. So why should a Whiting... There's one line that comes out of here, so it affected their line right here, this tie line right here that ties into the Toms River substation. So whatever the case was, they're relying on a 34.5 kV line, this line right here on the top, to handle the infrastructure. To handle the load. This line right here. Let's see. That's a crappy view. Let's see. Let me get a better view here. Go a little bit further. Let's go here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, this is good. So that substation tripping offline caused this line here on the top to go offline, which then caused 9,000 people to lose power as a result of that. So this line here on the top here is, look, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, why do you have a freaking fog bowl insulator and then a mounted ceramic insulator, right? I mean, they should all be the same. I mean, they love doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is the line here that failed. This line right here, where the substation, the equipment problem in the substation, caused this line to go down on the top, which then caused the power outage. But that shouldn't happen because you should be able to have a backup line that should be able to... I mean, what is going on here with the way their power system works? Unless it was this transmission line here that went down. Who knows? Maybe this one. But that's a 230 kV. That's plenty. But you see, this line The thing with JCP&L is this doesn't feed directly to the neighborhoods. No. That's not the way it works. It goes from this line to this line here. So this line on the top here. And that's what caused the issue. Once it came into Tom's River, this line goes into here. So this is the line from Whiting that caused this. It went down, and I've kind of showed you this line before. I mean, again, what is going on here? We got two like fog bowl insulators and another like one on top. Yeah, this line looks so decrepit, but it's in service. I know. It's unbelievable. Look at this. This is nuts. But yeah, that caused, whatever the reason is, this line here goes into this substation. So the power, instead of going directly to Tom's River, gets sent all the way to Whiting and then comes back to Tom's River. This doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, this is what you're relying on. So, and then this goes into the substation here. We can follow it actually into the substation. Let's see if I can try to do that. This isn't going to be easy. It's probably a riser here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, it's probably a riser. Whatever, it goes into the substation. This is it. It's probably this section right here. It goes into, and this is your power for Tom's River. This is just on the transmission side. So, I mean, it's really messed up. It really is. So look at all this zigzag of wires here that we have here. So, whatever the case is, it caused a massive power outage, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It's totally messed up. So they're not upgrading their old system. For starters, when the power comes in from the transmission line here into Tom's River, it should be being stepped down in the substation to the distribution voltages. But no, it has to go on their antiquated 34.5 kV system that can't handle the load. And then it goes through the 34.5 kV transformers, which can't handle the load. That's the issue. And there was another outage too that occurred at this. There was an outage in Tom's River too that affected the smaller one that affected a few thousand customers when there was a problem at this substation here. So yeah, it's a huge mess at JCP&L, and this is why. The number one reason why I don't want to go live in New Jersey, especially this part, because anywhere you got to deal with JCP&L, you're going to be dealing with losing power at least like once a month, if not more often. I mean, yeah, and you got just two transformers on this line, just two. These are just two transformers at the substation. This is like there's barely anything here. The substation looks so decrepit and so bad. It's really pathetic looking. That's what it is. This is 34.5 kV. This is the backbone of their transmission system. Everything's got to go through that 34.5 kV system before it gets to your house. It's not going to go directly from the transmission. And this is the weak point here. They need to upgrade this whole thing to 69 kV to handle the increased load. I'll explain to you here on Long Island, where we have a halfway decent power grid. Kind of explain the way things work here, because our substations look a lot different. I'll pick the one that's closest to where I live, which is over here, Garden City Park. All right. Take a look at how much bigger the transformers are and how more modern they look. All right. This is an old street view. They may have upgraded this already. But this is the substation by me, and this one is much more modern. It's also 69 kilovolts, 69 kV. Not this line here is 69 kV. All right, so that can handle it. That's generally most of the power system here is 69 kV. All right, so. Anywhere you go on Long Island, you're going to see those 69 kV substations. Sometimes you'll see even more modern substations. Let's go ahead and look at this one in Islandia that's really nice and modern. find it. It's over here somewhere. It's over here somewhere. It's by the county. Suffolk County Center. Yeah, this one here. So look at how nice and clean that substation looks. You want to see modern substation here. This is modern stuff here, right? That's a beautiful modern substation. Look at that. Look at how new all that equipment looks. This is one of the ones in Hop Hog. Really beautiful. And all right, there's the PSCG Long Island logo, all right? Whereas, again, you compare it to JCP&L and even their larger substations. We've seen the Whiting one. Tom's River one we can't see, but kind of showed you the Whiting one already. We'll look at that one more time. Yeah, there are a lot of seniors there. That's a problem too. So let's see. Gotta get back down to Whiting here. All right, this thing looks just. Yeah. See, what I clearly see is there's a lack of big transformers here. Where are the transformers? You're not having enough. You can't have enough. It's not built to handle the load. All right, it's just not built to handle the load. So this is the substation that had the problem right here. And this is, again, the second time in a matter of weeks that this substation had a problem. So you clearly see it's just not equipped to handle the load that's being put over here. And so JCP&L has got to upgrade their substations. We're going to upgrade. You got to actually upgrade the voltage. 34.5 kV is not sufficient enough to handle the load here. It's just not. It's not. That's all there is to it. I'm going to just point out one thing that I have to kind of pause the video for it again. This is kind of like where the lines kind of... I mean, this is just nuts. Yeah, they just love this. This is their backbone, the 34.5 kV system. And it needs to be upgraded to 69 kV. But that costs money, and the electric company doesn't want to spend the money to do that. Because it would be a big job to upgrade all these systems, but they need to be done. So now let me show you what I'm going to show you about Long Island. I have a bunch of old pictures I'm going to show you here. These are, I don't have a whole bunch of them. But this is what we used to have. We used to have 23 kV to 4 kV. All right, but Lilco upgraded these, I think, in the 70s and the 80s. So they upgraded it many years ago. I know people had a lot of bad opinion about Lilco, but they're way better than JCP&L is. And Wading River is another old. So JCP&L substations still look like this. They still are very old. And almost the entire system here has been upgraded. This substation is not in service anymore either. Old Manatuck Substation 8U. That was also upgraded. So, years and years and years ago, these substations were upgraded. See, and here's an article here. PSCG Long Island to upgrade substations in East Shoreham and Riverside. So we're always upgrading to incurring the demand. Wildwood to Riverhead conversion project. So again, they're upgrading an existing 69 kV to 138 kV. So JCP&L's problem is, and none of these articles fail to mention it because I guess they don't want to get too technical, but the reason why your power goes out so much in Tom's River is because you have a very old subtransmission system that cannot handle the increased load. It was built for many years ago when this area had, I mean, these senior developments, all these senior developments didn't even exist back then. So you have all this additional load. They have electric heat, and people put the heat on, and it blows the transformer at the substation, or it causes the line to sag because it got too overloaded and trip out. Because again, you're using 34.5 kilovolt line that's not meant to handle this. When you should be, JCP&L can tout all the upgrades they want, but until they get actual 69 kilovolt transmission lines, like we use here on Long Island, like I could point any of them out for you. So the 69 kV line, all right? This is a 69 kV line here, this line, all right? 69 kV. That's what they should be using. And these lines were put up by Lilco. It's a Lilco line. But they can handle it. They're built to handle 69 kV. The substations are meant to handle it. 69 kV means you have more voltage. You will have more power, so you have enough to serve all the load along it. But JCP&L has an antiquated system that can't handle it. And so it's going to keep happening until JCP&L realizes that they need to start upgrading the power lines to the 69 kV standard that exists on Long Island and in a lot of other areas too. This is also a 69 kV line. Hey, look, there's Nice Bus. But this is also a 69 kV line. That's a 69 kV line. All right, so that's what we use here on Long Island, and that's why we don't have those kind of things like overloads here on Long Island. But JCP&L has major problems with that, and they've got to upgrade their infrastructure. But that's why I don't want to wind up, yes, I know the Pine Barrens are beautiful there, and I love to go visit. But I don't want to live there because of that and many other reasons, but there's just many reasons why. I don't want to have to shut up and go live in New Jersey because I can't deal with that. Just can't deal with it. Deal with having no power, having the power go out or randomly, just for no reason at all. JCP&L is just awful here. Awful. Let's just see what people have to say about JCP&L on Twitter before I end this video. Let's see. If anything. We just love losing power in the middle of the winter. Worst utility company ever. Recurring power outages, JCP&L are a huge occurrence inconvenience to small business and homeowners. So, if you are without power, it looks like there was another power outage in Raritan. 5,000 lose power on a frigid morning in Toms River. All right, looks like they are doing an upgrade here. Reinforcing our subtransmission system. So here's what they're doing. It looks like they're putting new insulators on that subtransmission line. But are they actually increasing the voltage on it? No, they're not. So it can be new stuff, but it's still, if the pipe isn't big enough to bring to handle the load, then you're still going to have the same problem. So anyway, that's it. If you don't have JCP&L, if you don't have JCP&L, consider yourself lucky, because if you do have to deal with JCP&L sucks. This is the third or fourth time in 2 weeks that half the town is without power. And on one of the coldest nights of the year. They are the worst electric company. And this is the thing, again, look at their old pole here. It's old poles here that they use. That pole right there, that's a transmission line. 4,000 customers, Phillipsburg, without power. It just never ends with them. Well, anyway, JCP&L, you know what you need to do to fix this. But First Energy doesn't want to give you the money to fix it right. You got to upgrade your transmission infrastructure, your subtransmission infrastructure. 34.5 kV isn't enough to handle the load that you have trying to serve these areas. It's basic math. There isn't enough voltage in those power lines to handle the load from people that are using their electricity. Get with the program, and as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm totally okay with a lawsuit, and even if it takes perhaps a state takeover of JCP&L, or maybe have it turned over to PSE&G. Maybe that's an option at this point, but this cannot continue. It's not acceptable. That's the bottom line. Anyway, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with it, but for those of you who do have to deal with it, including one of my viewers who lives in Tom's River, who may have been without power as a result of this, you have my sympathies. And I know he kind of misses some things he misses about Long Island, and I'm sure this is one of them. Having power, because with JCP&L, they just can't provide lights.